All right, welcome to the show, live with Murray Franklin, and today we are joined by Sanity and Jmanch3w Gaming. And today we are going to be talking about Ace of Hearts, the movie that is going to be dropping hopefully soon, and that is what I'm going to be asking you today. So my first question is, what the fuck? Where's...
Well, first of all, hello. Hi.
Hi.
I just want to introduce myself.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably smart. Yeah, do that.
I'm the, we're the writer and directors of the film.
Unfortunately.
What the yeah, so how do I answer that?
Well, let me stop you there. So, recently, I watched the film. I got an early screening of the film, and I can't say anything.
Who gave this guy the movie?
I can't
Wait.
say anything legally. I am tied behind my back. The feds are watching.
How the fuck did he?
How did you get the movie?
So anyway,
Okay.
you know, I watched it, and wow, what a garbage film.
Yeah.
What the fuck was going through your head?
What was going through my head? Could you elaborate a bit more what you mean?
Well, you know, maybe I'm being a little too harsh. It's a great film. I enjoyed all the aspects of it.
Okay,
I loved
okay.
its style. I loved the creativity, the abstract concepts. And I got some questions I would like to ask you guys.
All right. That's cool.
So, so my first question is, what inspired you to pursue the idea of making a film in Minecraft?
I think Harry should take this one.
Yeah, okay. Well, it actually started because Sam could do the Joker voice, which I heard like 2 years ago. I heard him do it. He sent me a clip, and he just did he did like a fucking thing from the animated series. I was like, oh, this guy can actually do a good voice, and I'd been adjusted to writing scripts and doing things like that because I was always interested in films. And then when I heard what he could do, I had an interest in making a film, and my only thing to be able to make a film was Minecraft. And I just had this idea in my mind of just Batman and Joker talking in a room. I didn't have the subject. I didn't have the idea for that yet. And then as I was started to make it, and as I started to get into that part of it and just trying to figure out what it was, that's when Josh started to get involved with it. And he started to help me write the script, make all the sets and everything for it.
Yeah, of course. Was there any other options on the table when you were, you know, considering of like what to tell the story? Because you used Minecraft as your canvas. Was there any other things on the table for that?
I mean, if we hated ourselves, we could have animated it 2D, but Minecraft was like really the only option. And we saw another thing is that we saw people making Minecraft films, like you've seen like people's Gotham shows and stuff, Batman shows, all the way back to Bats and stuff. And we were like, okay, I think there's a lot to be improved on. And I think there's some stuff people haven't tried yet, where there's a way of filming it they haven't tried yet. So that's sort of where we came from, and we're like, okay, let's use this as a medium that we're comfortable with and that we've used so many times before. Let's try to make it taken seriously, and also try to show maybe there's another way to look at the medium, and maybe it can be taken seriously if we do it right. And that's what we tried to do.
Yeah, so Josh, you've had projects in the past that went under, that used Minecraft as a canvas before. How is this movie any different? Was there challenges?
Well, I think the other projects are just, I think, like, what are my other projects? I've had, you know, like Arkham Falls and stuff, and I've just done a lot of building and a lot of like video ideas for stuff. But usually, like, they're just so big and they end up being so large, and I want something that's so grand that it ends up like not happening because of that, and I just lose interest. But this film, it isn't small. It's not a short film anymore like we thought it was. It's not small, but something about it just kept me coming back, and like, it's just a film. It's not like a huge series. It's not a huge map or anything. So it was very difficult though. But it's very difficult, but somehow it came through.
Yeah, you had a story to tell. I get that. So, Was there, when you were making the film and you were writing it and it was really early, was there anything that you got inspired from that you wanted to add to the film? Different media, comics, movies, even stuff outside of Batman? Did you find it challenging to apply those concepts to your vision?
I
I
think
mean,
maybe like The Killing Joke, Long Halloween.
yeah, that was definitely one. Initially, actually, when I heard how good Sam was, I wanted to do something more like The Killing Joke at first, but I didn't want to adapt something. Because I didn't want to adapt a comic and put it in Minecraft. I wanted to do something different. But yeah, I know there were several comics that I kind of thought of. I
Batman
mainly thought
Noel
of a lot of
visuals.
yeah, Batman Noel for visuals. And we hadn't motivated like fucking inspirations for tiny different parts of the films. Like music wise, we were inspired by certain films. For like the story, we were inspired by certain comic books and
Definitely
films.
noir. Like we really wanted to do something noir.
Yeah, you put some Dutch angles in the film when you could and like
And
animated and stuff.
spotlights, we got voiceovers, all the good noir stuff.
Yeah.
Jazz music, all that
Okay.
inspired by like old films, kind of like that.
It's a
And a
very
lot
like
of Batman animated
retro
series
film grain
films.
stuff like that.
Yeah, very retro.
Okay, so this film gives off like the more down to earth type of vibe, not super action packed, takes itself seriously.
No, I don't. We're gonna get people who see it and are gonna expect some action or some crazy
Yeah, I know.
fights, and it's not like that. It's how do it's a more subtle film. It has some abstract moments. It has some long environmental shots because we wanted to focus on the environment because that's what Minecraft is really good at, is building. That's what we all do with it, is we build stuff. So we wanted to show that part of it a lot. So it's a lot about the environment, and
And we built really intricate sets for it too.
we built a lot of sets for it. So
Very big ones, stuff you won't even see.
I wouldn't expect action, but that doesn't mean it's not. I wouldn't expect action in the form of fighting. We don't have like huge fights or anything. There's no, hand-to-hand combat moments, or at least not ones that are up close to the camera.
Well, earlier, Harry said that he wanted to incorporate the Killing Joke, but he didn't want to adapt it. And that brings me on to my next question. Were there a lot of concepts and visions that you wanted in the film, but couldn't figure out how to fit it in, or just weren't working?
Actually, I think we made sure to include everything we thought, and I think
Yeah, there's a
a
few
lot of the
ideas.
ideas we wanted to elaborate, but like we understood
Yeah.
we couldn't. But we tried to put in like we tried to put in a little spark of it in. We couldn't put the whole fucking fire in, but we put as much of it as we could for a lot of the
Yeah,
ideas.
a lot of the things that I would like to put in the film are just an expansion of things. And it's hard to say it without spoiling it, but there's certain little key moments that could have been expanded on or explained better through like some cool visuals. And I can't go into extreme detail, but there are a few ideas I had that I thought would have been cool, but it's just too much time, too much effort for such short things. And we just not necessarily did what was necessary. Like that's all we did. We have a lot of extra stuff in there. Just some of it just didn't make the cut.
Yeah. Well, earlier we tackled this situation briefly, but I want you guys to really think about this. And for all the people listening, what should people expect when watching this film? Is there one key takeaway you want people to walk away with after watching the film? What would it be and why?
Do you want me to
I
do
guess
this one?
I think we should both answer this one.
Okay. For me, I would say when you're watching the film, definitely do not go in expecting an adaptation. You will need a little bit of Batman knowledge to fully understand every single character. There's this very minor character that if you don't really know much about Batman, then like you might not understand what's happening. But I think don't go in expecting an adaptation. The Killing Joke is really all you might need to understand these characters and like what they're all about. But I think we do a good job of like kind of explaining it. But I would go into the film not expecting an action-packed commercial type movie. This isn't supposed to be like the most entertaining movie on the planet. It's supposed to be a personal movie. It's supposed to be a subtle movie about these characters and about their flaws and their hypocrisies. And I think you should also sort of look inside of yourself. Think about how the film might pertain to you as a person as well. Not just Don't just go into the film not thinking about anything.
All right, Harry, let's hear what you have to say.
I would say with the film, I mean, because the main two characters would, as for what you should expect when going into it, you should really think about what those two characters can mean in different contexts. Because you have these two characters that have been fighting for years in comic books, and so many people adore them for that reason, that they've been fighting for so long. But in a very strange way, they're very similar. You know, they both had their lows that brought them to where they are now, and that's kind of what I want you to. What I think people should expect from it. What are the similarities and the differences between these two people, and where do they connect? Where is the point where they both need to get better? Where is the point where they both need to stop doing certain things? And that's where the film became personal, as Josh kind of said. It's very personal, I think, to both of us in some way. I mean, we wrote the script together several times. There's several different drafts of it, and there is like a very personal story within there, and it's a different part of their relationship. It's been recontextualized. Instead of having a big grand fight, it's a conversation, and that's what you should really expect from it, and really think about what that conversation could apply to you, and what that means for them as people, not just as these figures who are heroes and villains.
Okay. Yeah, no, that all sounds great. I love that answer. I have a couple more questions for you. One of them is, earlier I've said that I watched the movie, I got blown away by it, I enjoyed lots of the film, almost all of the film, and you know, you have these abstract concepts and the character of the film and all this stuff. Do you picture yourself, after making this movie, do you picture yourself maybe pursuing something in the future with the film industry?
Oh shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think Harry likes writing things. He constantly writes.
Yeah.
He writes more scripts than I do. He just starts writing things. He had this like Spider-Man show idea or something a while ago. He's doing some other Batman script now, and he just writes a lot. For me though, like, I do have this script idea that I don't think I've really told Harry about yet. I do have a script idea for a live action film, but it's very early in the process, and I don't think I want to go into, like, I want to make video games, so I'm not really thinking I'll go into the movie industry. I'd love to get into the indie movie kind of scene and like help out with indie movies and like smaller projects that are more personal and don't have huge budgets, but you have to work with what you have. That's the type of stuff I want to make. If I get the chance,
but just not in films, not necessarily.
I do.
Films.
Yeah. Like, I want to make video games, but if I do get the chance, I'd love to make like an actual feature-length live-action movie that's like low budget. I would love to do that.
Oh yeah, Harry, you didn't say
Well, like,
anything,
kind
did
of
you?
as John, I didn't really say it because he kind of. I am down the fucking road on that. I am really far down on that. This whole thing started a few years ago when I started really getting into film. Because for the script, which people won't see, maybe we'll release it when the movie's out. But like, a big part of it is that we wrote it in correct format.
Mm-hmm.
And
It
we
wasn't
learned
in correct
how to
format at
scripts.
first.
It wasn't then, but it is now. And the
Yeah.
script is a full 30-page complete draft with the correct format and everything. Even the fucking indenting we made sure was as good as we could get it. And we both learned things like that from this. And from this film, I've really learned a lot in that way. And there's a lot I would love to apply. If I could, I want to make films as I get older. I love writing. And I think if I ever do get into the film industry, writing would definitely be the center I would be. Because I write all the time. I am constantly writing scripts. I'm always thinking of an idea for something I'm writing, even if it's not superhero related, which is also projects I tend to have. But
Yeah.
I am very far down in that. And I really hope to get into some variation of it, even if I'm just writing plays in college or something. I would love to be able to write more as I get older, and especially for serious things. And I would love to do that. And this is still one of the things I'm most proud of as a writer. I think this is incredible script-wise and an incredible film on its own.
I totally agree.
Our Batman actor, Dorktails, he's an older guy, and I don't know exactly what his profession was, but he was pretty surprised with how good our script was, which
Yeah, he was really surprised by it.
very appreciative of it, because I haven't really written a full script. Like, I haven't really finished something like I have with this film. It really did teach me a lot, especially editing-wise, just especially learning how far you need to push yourself for a film. Like, when do you need to stop doing that? Because there is a certain point where you need to take a break.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get into more of the serious questions. I have maybe three more questions to ask you that are on people's minds. I know this one I'm about to ask you is on my mind. So, what are your goals for this film after it releases? Do you think this will set the bar for how Minecraft fan films will be made?
Um,
He says Minecraft fan films, and I think that's the right way to put it because I don't think it should just be limited to superhero stuff. I'm hoping that we have this Gotham City community, and it's such a weirdly compact community of people making this one thing, and it's so diverse, but at the same time, there's so much more to do, and I feel like it would be really interesting to see someone try to make an original thing in this game or just in any game. Actually, I've seen cool YouTube videos of like really cinematic cool stuff shot in video games, and I just find it interesting.
Yeah.
I hope that it inspires other people, I guess.
I wouldn't want to say the film sets a new bar for Minecraft films because I don't want to I don't want to have the ego to be able to say that quite yet.
Yeah.
But I would like for when people make their films. And I want them to kind of, it's more like a personal thing as somebody who really appreciates film and the whole process of filmmaking. That when people make their films, like I would really like to see more people handling it more like in its professional, amateur kind of way as they possibly can.
In a unique way.
Yeah, like making real sets and not just using their Gotham or like or really going about it the way a filmmaker would. I want to write the script. I want to make an outline. I want to write it in the real way. Really learn about filmmaking because I think a lot of people, especially in the community, I think people would love just filmmaking as a thing.
This is like an introduction almost. It's like you learn this stuff. It starts out as like a hobby, but you're like, wait a second, I've learned about script writing. Most people don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's kind of just the one thing I'd like people to take.
I guess another goal, I want people to see it. I don't need like a gajillion views or anything, but I'm hoping it can get, I hope it can go past just my audience, and I hope more people see it. I hope I can get some bigger YouTubers to see it, like Joel Haver. I really want him to see it because he's super appreciative of YouTube films especially, and just like smaller, low budget personal films. And it is a fan film. It's based off of an existing property. But I hope that maybe he would watch it. And I hope other people, I just hope people just beyond this. I hope eventually someone who doesn't even like Minecraft or doesn't really know or just plays it like a game and never thought of it in this way, I hope they can watch it and be like, wow, I was surprised it's good, or it was somewhat good.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I totally get that. I want that to happen for both of you. I want this movie to succeed. I've seen the potential that this movie can bring firsthand, and I really do think it can get out there if people share it and spread it, and hopefully, it reaches people that aren't even a part of this little community that we have. But I'm going to ask two more questions. These questions are probably plaguing the minds of a lot of people. And one of them is, will there be a sequel or a prequel? And what are your plans now after you finish the film?
The sequel, I am not gonna confirm a sequel or a prequel or anything. We definitely have like an idea of where it would go. Like we have ideas of like if we did do a sequel, we have an idea of what it is, and we have an idea of like what the themes would be, but like not even started writing it, and like I don't know if it will even happen or if we even will do it at all. Like I'm not even gonna act like it will ever happen. But I would view this movie as its own thing, and it's definitely a universe that could be expanded on, but it's something that can be by itself, and I think that's fine.
Yeah, it's good that you have the movie as standalone.
Yeah, we never went in like trying to make up other films or anything. It was just a found film. It was like a really simple. Like it's weird to say it's a small film with such two big characters.
It was simple. It was simple.
It was really simple.
You know what I like about this movie is something I think people should realize is this film started out extremely simple. Started out as people in a room and they would talk about their past and there would be a few scenes, and it was very simple. But we took each little bit of that simple idea and expanded on it and made like entire scenes for some of these ideas and entire kind of themes that expanded on them, and it grew into this very complicated thing from this very simple thing.
Well, this is probably the most important question. We've
Wait.
had.
Before you ask that, can I say something?
Yeah, go for it.
If any of you fuckers ask me about Gotham or ask Josh about Gotham one more fucking
Yeah,
time,
dude.
I will personally come to your house and I will fucking kill you.
This is a threat.
Also, we did not
we have
build an
that jurisdiction.
entire Gotham for this. It's literally movie sets.
It's all sets.
It's
Yeah.
all sets we specifically made for the movie. We didn't use anybody's world or our Gotham or anything. Specifically for the movie.
Yeah.
We wanted to match the movie. We wanted to match the vision.
I think you and me both just built the sets. Were there anyone else who helped us build it? I don't really remember. I think Junior, you might have in some places.
I've helped with maybe 2.
Yeah, out of 50 sets. There's a lot of sets.
I wouldn't expect don't ask about Gotham City, please. Just because we want people to talk about the film. We've been working so hard on this film, and I think this is deeper than what Gotham City is builds, and we learned what we have in this movie is actual storytelling that I hope even people could do with Gotham in a video format or something like that. But
yeah,
it is kind of annoying if you keep asking about Gotham City while we're trying to make this film.
There probably won't be another part, so get fucked.
Anyway, now that side tangent's out of the way, I'm going to ask the biggest question. We've had multiple delays on the film for
87.
personal reason. Yeah, 87 delays. When will this film release? When will we get it?
Well, I've been waiting.
I need to know.
I've been waiting for you to ask that because
no, I just don't sugar. Just tell me.
Fuck.
Are you okay?
Tell me.
Ace of Hearts is coming out in 3 hours.